folks, Ryan Engle here for my friends at Howie's Market. Hate to send a wave of panic into your souls right now, but Valentine's Day is next Friday. You heard me. Next Friday. You don't have plans, you don't have a gift, and you don't have reservations. And guess what? You don't need any. Because Howie's Market has you covered. For just $99.95, Howie's Market will bestow upon you and your special someone 2 8-ounce American Wagyu filet mignons and 2 7-ounce lobby tails, a decadent chocolate cake, and your choice of a bottle of red or white wine. Are you kidding me? You can bring a steakhouse dinner to your table, avoid the crowds, and be the romantic hero for a single $100 bill. In today's economy, wow. Find me a better option. Find me a better value. You can't. Absolutely unbeatable steak, lobster, wine, and dessert. All you got to do is hit up Howie's, part ways with a single $100 bill, and cook up the easiest to prepare steak in the world. Incredible. Howie's Market, the ultimate Cupid to the rescue.
And I quote, "The neatly appointed golfer is like a businessman or someone headed to church. He gives the impression he thinks the course and the people there are special." Those words are from the late, great Mr. Arnold Palmer, living up to his moniker as the King back in 2008, speaking to Golf Digest on the importance of dressing well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the fellowship. My name is Adam Hawk, and I am joined, as always, by Ryan Engle. Ryan, say hi to the people.
You know, how's it going, bud?
I asked you before the podcast to not use like, or You were killing me.
What if I do a Rory
We're going to get to Rory's absolute obsession with using the word but you're really in no position to critique.
Maybe.
There were 3 before you got to the maybe.
Really?
Quite a lot to talk about today, specifically pertaining to the quote that I read at the top. And I think I know where everyone wants us to start. As you know, Ryan, I'm a man of the people, so I will give them what they want. And I will start with the number one topic for any jaw-jacking talking golf head this Monday morning. We normally don't just bang into a big segment right out of the gates, but sometimes big news just dictates your program flow. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. The number one topic on today's golf podcast. The Costco Food Court is switching back to Coca-Cola, baby. Yep.
Oh, Pepsi, rest in peace. Pepsi just can't catch a break. Lately, they went with the retro can a little bit.
Did you hear how you just used the word like?
Yes, and it's fine. It flows, Adam. It's not this pause of weirdness. It's flowing, my brother. You signed up to come down to South Orange County and get on a podcast with Ryan Engle.
Ryan freaking Engle.
So you just have to put up with the lingo, my brother. Pepsi can't catch a break. They went with the retro can. They get all these celebrities during the Super Bowl commercials. They don't drink them, too. Like when they're giving Mike Jackson, Pepsi, and Britney and all these people, they're just having those just in the commercial. They go home and they open their Viking range fridges and Sub-Zero refrigerators, and they got Coca-Cola Classic in there. They do. It's just the way it is. But I'd like to welcome Coke Classic back to the Costco Food Court. What I want to know, Adam, and I'm sure you have all the answers with all the prep you did last night. I drove down here at 4:30 in the morning. I want to know, is that fountain going to have both diet options? Is there going to be a zero fountain and a diet fountain? That's a big thing nowadays. Some of the places have both Coke Zero and Diet Coke. Are they going to have both, or are they going to have to pick between the two? How do you pick? Inquiring minds want to know.
Folks, if you didn't already believe in God, there's absolutely no reason not to now. The Costco Food Court, home to the $1.50 hot dog and drink combo meal, is kicking Pepsi to the curb and bringing back the ice-cold, crispy fountain stylings of the Coca-Cola Company. Some of you may remember back in 2013, Costco committed its very first sin against humanity and brought in Pepsi to replace Coke. And ever since then, customers have been throwing away the fountain cups because who in their right mind is filling up their vessel with anything from Pepsi? Now, one of the great wrongs has finally been righted. Coke and its even better sister product, Diet Coke, and presumably the third member of the holy trinity of soft drinks, Coke Zero, will be back in the summer of 2025.
Here's the problem with the Pepsi versus Coke fountain wars. Coke, you're stuck with Sprite. But on a Pepsi fountain, they get 7-Up in there. That's the way it works. A Pepsi fountain has 7-Up more often than not, whereas a Coke fountain, you're forced to get Sprite. And anybody with any type of taste buds whatsoever knows that 7-Up absolutely destroys Sprite in a head-to-head taste test. There is one lemon lime soda at the top of Mount Rushmore, and that is 7-Up by a landslide. So my question is, are they going to have the Trinity, and what's my lemon lime option going to be like? Because if it's syrupy, disgusting Sprite, I'm out. I'm out on the lemon lime option. I'm only picking the brown liquor.
Now, if you're going to Costco to either get a hot dog or a slice of pie, are you really making it past Coke, Diet Coke, and Coke Zero to where you even need to have a good lemon lime option?
Sometimes, and here's why, and this is why 7-Up's so much better than Sprite. 7-Up, they're like the Topo Chico of lemon lime sodas. They put twice the amount of bubbles in those things. You have to put a lid on a fountain drink of 7-Up because if you put your nose close to that, you're getting sprayed by the fucking bubble sprinkler in the nostrils. You think Sprite's going to spray you with bubbles? Absolutely not. That stuff is pure corn syrup. It's trash. 7-Up, wow. It's almost illegal how much carbonation they put in those fucking things.
The $1.50 dog and drink has been the greatest deal in American fast food for decades. In fact, this is a true story. During COVID, Costco started requiring a membership card for the first time ever.
I love that, by the way.
Just to gain access to the food court. So what did I, a non-Costco member, do? I bought a membership solely to get into the food court. And I'm not even kidding. I am a 3-year Costco member, and I don't think I have ever walked through the warehouse doors. I drive there. I spend 45 minutes looking for a spot. I bang my driver's side door into whatever vehicle is 3 inches away from me. I go to the outdoor food court, order the $1.50 dog and drink, throw away the cup, dress the dog with mustard, relish, and onions, enjoy the snap of an all-beef Frank, and get on my merry little way. You can feed a family of 4 for a $10 bill and get $4 in change. Couple family dinners a month, the membership pays for itself. And now that you're bringing Coke back into the mix, I might be a weekly patron with my entire family of the Costco Food Court. And I just have to say it right now, 3 simple words. Thank you, Costco.
Keep 7-Up.
Shall we discuss the Bing Crosby clam bake played at Pebble Beach this past weekend?
Formerly known as.
Off the top, I love this tournament because I love how telegenic Pebble Beach is. I love the Monterey coastline. I love the green and the blue and the gray. I love the old school golf course with its tiny greens and the fact that it requires you to actually hit golf shots. And I love that it's now a signature event without the amateurs. Yes, amateurs were a great part of the event.
Wait, they didn't have Pro-Am at all?
There's a Pro-Am, but they're not showing the amateurs the way that they used to.
Is the Pro-Am just one day now?
I think so.
That's cool. That's how it should be.
Well, what I really like about it is back in Bing's day, when the celebrities were the darlings of the music and film business, they were worth watching. But I am very okay with losing them in 2025. I've seen enough Larry the Cable Guy and Bill Murray antics at Pebble Beach to last me 10 lifetimes.
Hey, here's Macklemore. He's got a anti-thrift shop brand, and he just started playing golf yesterday. Everybody want to watch him pull up on a fucking scooter? I'm out.
So you lose those clowns and you bring in Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy because it's now a signature event. I am all in on that.
Yeah, I agree. It was sad because in recent years, until it became an elevated event again, this event was definitely losing a lot of luster. There was a lot of guys skipping it, and it seemed kind of frumpy for a few years.
Bringing back Rory and Scotty and getting rid of Bill Murray is like bringing back Coke into the Costco Food Court.
Bill Murray, dude, his shtick is interesting to say the least.
It's interesting to him and only him, and then everyone else around him has to find it funny because they have to find Bill Murray funny. Regardless, I love the tournament. I think it's a jewel of the West Coast swing. Very much enjoyed watching Saturday and Sunday with my son Johnny. Before we get to Jason Day, which we'll get to Jason Day, I refuse to let Jason Day's sweatsuit get the lead over the fact that Rory McIlroy won, and he won going away. The dude made it look easy on the back nine Sunday, and when that guy is fully dialed, he is incredible to watch. And I'll say this, and I'll happily die on this hill. Rory's best is better than Scotty's best.
I disagree.
Now, Scotty can access his best golf at such a higher clip than Rory. Scotty is by far a bigger and better gamer than Rory at this point. But if Rory wakes up on any given week and he's locked in, no one's beating him.
I disagree.
Do you care to flesh out that argument?
I mean, he's very similar to Tiger in the sense he's an incredible front runner. But you put anyone nipping his heels, guy's chalking it up. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't. He's chalking what up?
Chalking up the loss, my brother. Because he's just not that guy. He played great, and he hits it good, and he compounds on that, and he's a great front runner. He starts hitting it close, and those putts go in. But we've seen it a million times. If it's close as far as the competition goes, guy clams up. Talk about a clam bake. I mean, he's very clammy, especially in the putting stroke. Scotty Scheffler, that dude wins with his C game. Rory doesn't make the top 10 with his C game. You lost that argument.
I know you love to hate Rory, so would you like to make fun of him for a bit here? Because I brought something to the show just for you.
Well, let me think about it.
You're one of the few people who have caught on to how much Rory says every time he's talking, which is quite classic considering the amount of ums, you knows, and likes I have to edit out of the podcast because of you. Nevertheless, you have been on this beat.
Who says it more, him or me?
We're about to find out.
I think it's him.
You've been on this beat for a long time, and yesterday Rory recorded a video for the PGA Tour's Instagram after he won. You know, they always hand the phone to the winner and say, hey, make a quick social media
Great
clip.
new tradition that I love. I really love that.
Here is Rory on his video yesterday for the PGA Tour Instagram. Note the amount of ums.
Hey everyone, this is Rory, winner of the 2025 AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Been a pretty cool week. Played Cyprus for the first time, had a hole-in-one, even though Shane said his hole-in-one was better than mine, but I got the trophy. But just been an amazing week. Thanks everyone for your support. Couldn't think of a better way to start the season, and I guess start as you mean to go on. Thanks everyone.
That is a 27-second clip in which he says 7 times, averaging saying once every 3.8 seconds.
Yeah, shout out to Rory McIlroy and Shane Lowry. They did the unthinkable, 2 Irishmen, even though Rory's from Northern Ireland, technically the UK, still on the continent, so to speak. Shout out to both of them for doing the unthinkable. Hole-in-ones at Pebble during the event on the same day, right? And they did what every gentleman is supposed to do. They bought drinks for the media room. And these 2 multimillionaires who just had hole-in-ones at one of golf's sacred properties, they put out 4 pizzas in boxes sitting there with plastic forks and napkins and 1 tray. And I counted on the photo, 31 beers. Wow, guys. Thanks for nothing. Are you kidding me? Look, dude, that's almost insulting. Here's a tray of fucking beers. Come on, dude. The whole thing, let's go to the bar, let's buy a drink. These pros nowadays they're so out of touch with what this whole song and dance is. These people, these fans, the people that put the show on, the local members that week at the club, they're the ones making this all possible for you to perform and make millions of dollars. And there's just such a disconnect with these pros and fans. They act so above everyone else, and it's just fucking weird.
I invited you to make fun of the amount of times he said and you just went on a 5-minute monologue about Shane and Rory not doing enough in the media room for the media, who I'm sure was happy to receive the free beer and pizza.
You get two guys that get hole-in-ones, and they split 31 beers between the two of them. Nice.
Do you want to hear what all 7 of those sound like isolated?
I want to let you know that I bought more drinks during my hole-in-ones than both those fucking guys. So why is it that the poor guy always foots the bill and these rich guys get off so easy?
You want to come off of this for a sec? So
I'm done.
We can continue.
We can continue the show. That was pretty fucking lame.
I'm up late preparing this bit, cutting audio for you to tee you up, and I can't even keep you on the subject that we're talking about.
Really?
Here's Rory's 7 isolated, and you got to give him credit for the variety.
It's the way he says it too. It's that little accent. It's
Yeah, you've been on it for a while.
Yeah.
And when I heard that yesterday, I thought I have to bring this to the show because this is everything Engle's been talking about. An inside joke to yourself that you've been telling for a while, and now people will finally get why whenever we bring up Rory, you always say, Last piece of audio I want to play you related to this. Here is what Rory sounds like when the ums are edited out. I did this for Rory so he can hear how much smarter he would sound if he removed from his vocabulary. It sounds like a totally different guy. Listen to this.
Hey everyone, this is Rory, winner of the 2025 AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Been a pretty cool week. Played Cyprus for the first time, had a hole-in-one, even though Shane said his hole-in-one was better than mine, but I got the trophy. But just been an amazing week. Thanks everyone for your support. Couldn't think of a better way to start the season, and I guess start as you mean to go on. Thanks everyone.
Wow. Yeah, love to hear it.
I mean, he's like a keynote speaker at a university graduation.
Wow, the power of the editing bay, huh, Hawk? Is that what we're getting at here?
Rory just benefited from it the same way for 122 episodes. You have benefited from it as well.
Yeah, well, my ums are a little less abrasive than his. You love to it.
Speaking of Irishmen, Shane Lowry made an ace on the iconic 7th hole at Pebble early in the week, something that you already alluded to. Shane now has aces at Pebble number 7, Augusta number 16, and Sawgrass number 17. People are calling it the best ace portfolio of all time, which is fine, but I do want to remind at least this audience that I did ace a 97-yard wedge shot off a mat at a legendary par 3 track called the Maggie Hathaway Golf Course back in October of 2023, and now that course is being torn down for renovation, so that ace will never be recreated, and it was hit with some serious drop kick mat backspin. So if you want to crown Shane Lowry, you can crown him, but don't forget about your boy here, because I'm in the King's Court as well.
No one's going to forget about that. Trust me.
What do you think about Shane's ace portfolio?
Pretty nice. I'd like to hear about where else he's had them, because those 3 are pretty special. But there's some guys with some impressive portfolios.
Guys that you clearly can't name right now.
Well, Arnold Palmer's had 12 hole-in-ones. I think Lee Trevino's had like fucking 15 or 16 or something like that. So to say his 3 are the best, maybe on tour. Maybe.
All right, so we have received numerous messages asking us to tee off on Jason Day in his plain gray sweatsuit that he wore on Sunday at Pebble Beach yesterday. If you missed it, Jason Day, the 37-year-old dad who used to have a soul patch and is now the fashion king of golf thanks to a partnership with Malbon, wore gray sweatpants and a matching gray crew neck sweatshirt to finish out holes 55 through 72 at the Clam Bake. The one-liners are too easy, and they write themselves. He looked like a gym teacher. He looked like Rocky Balboa running the streets of Philly. He looked like a sorority girl at a slumber party. My brother Aaron texted me and said he looked like he slept in his car. And we posted yesterday that he looked like someone about to board a Southwest Airlines flight. We could do this all day, but we won't, because what's most important is that we emphatically say what he didn't look like. He didn't look like a professional golfer playing a signature event at a cathedral of the game where the history there is as deep as the ocean lapping up onto its shores.
I mean, he didn't look like a professional, period.
Forget his status, forget the event, forget the venue. He didn't look like a golfer. Now, depending on who you are or what you believe about how people dress, this might not matter to you. In fact, you might resent what I just said, that he didn't look like a golfer. You might hate the notion that golfers have a look, and that's totally fine, but they do and always have had a look. No different than a business person has a look, a teacher has a look, a lawyer has a look, a public servant has a look, an office worker has a look, a churchgoer, a wedding guest, a funeral attendee have a look. And I'm not talking about uniforms. I'm talking about looks, ways in which certain people doing certain things present themselves because of what it says about them to the people they interact with in the place that they interact with them. Now, why does a game like golf need to adhere to a look? We could do an entire podcast on this because our entire business is built on this premise, but just consider this. The way you dress is the fastest and most obvious way to showcase your respect for someone or something or someplace without saying a single word. These golf courses are outdoor playgrounds for adults. They are vessels for fellowship and memories. They are manicured by a thankless grounds crew who got there before the sun came up and will be there after the sun goes down. If the guy on his lawnmower at 4 a.m. is dressed better than the golfer playing at 4 p.m, there's a problem with that. And if you can't see that or understand that, I can't help you. Go to Pebble Beach's website right now, and you will see their dress code where they very clearly state that sweatpants are not allowed for golfers. But Jason Day didn't care. He broke that rule. Aren't rules in and around golf what make it so special and so fair and so even and so timeless? Everyone wants to uphold unification and protect against bifurcation in the game of golf, yet Jason Day just bifurcated the dress code of Pebble Beach, doing something that no amateur who pays $500 to play there could ever or would ever dream of doing. And now he's a repeat offender. Augusta National asked him to remove his ridiculous billboard sweater vest, and he just broke the dress code at Pebble Beach, dressed like Tony Soprano going to get his morning newspaper at the end of the driveway. There is nothing I can say that you don't already know. Sweatpants on the golf course is a horrible look and a slap in the face of everyone that came before you who didn't tie their waistband with a drawstring, but rather fastened it with a belt. You know that, and you know it's a fact whether you want to admit it in front of your friends on the internet or not. There is no one out there, not even Jason Day himself, that can convince me that Jason Day likes sweatpants so much that he just had to wear them on the golf course, or that he's such a fashion icon that he just had to be the first to look borderline homeless at a place not even the upper middle class can afford. This isn't about comfort or fashion or breaking the rules. This is about hype for the sake of hype and attention for the sake of attention. I'm going to say something that I absolutely mean right now. I'm 100% genuine when I say it. I feel bad for Jason Day. To be this starved for attention, that you're doing these things so clearly for attention when you're already a televised pro athlete with millions in the bank, I feel bad for him. It's so desperate and so obvious. And those pictures are forever. You are forever the guy that wore a tracksuit to Pebble Beach. You're forever the guy that had a drawstring hanging out of your elastic waistband. You're forever the guy that dressed worse than the people on the couch watching you. You're forever the guy that disrespected golf, and that's twice now, at two of the most important venues in the game. And you're only 2 years into your deal with Malbon. How much more shock value can you guys really go for? Take a lap, Jason Day. You're already dressed for it.
I think we missed out, and I think the weather unfortunately had something to do with it. Big opportunity missed. I was really hoping that it got a little warmer there on the old Monterey Peninsula.
I know where you're going with this.
Because had he had to take the top off,
right,
we would have saw this fucking idiot wear a tucked-in white polo into baggy sweatpants.
Oh, my gosh.
You know how you know you have the wrong fucking outfit on? Is when you take the top off, the outerwear top, and you look at yourself, and you go, That ain't it.
Right.
That motherfucker kept that thing on no matter what. You don't put the sweatshirt on first. You put it on last, Adam. So this idiot got dressed in that clubhouse and looked at himself in the mirror before he put that sweatshirt on. And he said to himself, no matter what happens today, no matter how hot I get, this fucking sweatshirt ain't coming off because I look like an idiot. And he knew it, which is why you're extra right with your take. This guy and what Malbon's doing, they're not trying to cement some legacy in golf by creating a product that's memorable. All they make is buzz headlines. I've been saying it for years, almost 10 years now. I was the first one to speak out against what they're doing because I saw it plain as day. And guess what? People are slowly coming around. And you can call me a hater all you want. But the fact is, I was on this first, and I will be on it last. And eventually, this is going to be remembered for what it is. It's the TMZ of golf fashion. All they're trying to do is get some traction, get some buzz, get some headlines, and get this thing sold so they can get on their private jets and say they did it. And that's good. Good for them. But for everyone caping up just for the sake of caping up, just know you are massively deceived into a groupthink mentality that these guys are it. They don't care about you. They just want you to buy their $600 sweatsuit, which, by the way, is more expensive than it is to play Pebble Beach. Call me a hater. I'm a realist, man. I'm trying to pay homage to those that came before me, to this great game. I'm trying to add to this game. I'm trying to educate new golfers into the history and traditions of golf fashion and this beautiful geographical small niche of this time capsule of this golden era in golf in the desert. I'm trying to put a highlight on something that was special to me, that is cool, that brings people together. I'm not trying to get in the news. I'm not trying to do whatever I can and sacrifice my own professional integrity to get a company sold. I'm not looking here to step on the backs of all the great golf legends just to have me and my time. And look, I like Stephen Malbon. We're bros. I respect Malbon golf in a sense that there has to be a lane, but there's a tasteful way of doing things, and this is not tasteful. Nothing they have created, whether it was those cloud shorts or pants, the stupid vest at Augusta, the big baggy parachute sail pants, now this sweatsuit that's viciously overpriced, nothing they have done is going to make a mark and have any staying power where you're like, that was it. They're really pushing the boundaries. They did it. This is what they're famous for. What they're famous for is getting in the fucking news. You're eating out of this guy's hand. Crazy. I'm sure he loves golf, but he loves the headlines more than he loves the game. Because if he loved golf more than the traction he's trying to get, he would go about his business a lot differently than this. And I'm with you, Hawk. I actually feel bad for Jason Day. He's out there, no matter what anyone says, it's my opinion. He's thinking sponsors first, my career, and the history of golf last. And to me, I think it's sad.
As we wrap up this topic, we will always be viewed as the negative gatekeepers for taking this side. But what I do want to remind everyone is we didn't write the rules. We just follow them. And that is as literal as I can be. Pebble Beach on their website says they do not allow sweatpants on their golf course. And you want to get mad at us for pointing that out?
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on, brother. Keep fighting the good fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of year. Grab a tall can of Bang energy drink, turn your hat backwards, tuck your ears under it, crank up the Post Malone, jump in the lifted pickup truck, and let's head out to Arizona, home of the Wasted Management People's Open, the largest collection of trash on earth. It has been called the PGA Tour's wildest stop of the season.
You know what the Wasted Management Open is like? It's the Girls Gone Wild of golf tournaments.
Bros are going to bro. People are going to piss themselves. Pro golfers will be heckled by Brad and Chad. Meme accounts will celebrate the human landfill known as the 16th hole. And G4 will have its biggest week of the year. slinging block letter hats to a bunch of zombie walking desert hicks. What can we say other than Arizona, baby?
Remember those V8 commercials where the guys would walk like a 45-degree angle and be like, hey, you didn't have your V8 today. And then they drink it and walk straight up, you know? I love those videos of the Waste Management where you see those guys like walking out, some Chad with his Brad Birdie shirt on and his shorts that go right to the kneecap, and then he's just walking sideways like, ugh, and you just like, how many fucking Mick Ultras did you drink, Brad? Crazy, bro. I hope you had such a blast paying $7,000 for that weekend. What a joke, dude.
Arizona. Speaking of jokes, I know we joke, but you do got to love Arizona. Arizona is just like California, except it's 50 degrees hotter. There are scorpions in your cupboards. They wear West Coast Chopper sunglasses instead of Ray-Bans. There's no beach. It ranks near the bottom in healthcare, education, and public safety, and everyone who lives there wishes they were in California. Look, hold on. We might have Big Bear in Palm Springs and Santa Barbara and San Diego and the Pacific Ocean and theme parks and an embarrassment of riches exclusive to our state, but they have Lake Havasu. Arizona. ASU dude is listening to this right now.
So pissed.
We love to party, dude.
Yeah.
We know, guy, that you love to party. It's your entire identity.
Hey, pal, I'm going to kick your fucking ass. Wait, are you looking at me? Take those white sunglasses off.
I would drink myself blind, too, if I lived there.
I'm just impressed that they have held on this long to the spiky hairdo. I was looking at LA Look's website last night, and their biggest market is Arizona. That's where they sell the most gel. It's crazy. You know the neon green shit with all the bubbles?
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
When you wake up every day and aspire to look like Guy Fieri,
yeah,
you know you're in Arizona.
I mean, Arizona is Flavor Town, USA, for sure, dude.
Arizona. The Waste Management Open is a 4-day commercial for why you don't want to live in Arizona.
Yeah.
I want to revisit a news report from last year before we continue. It's only 30 seconds, but this news report came out of Arizona after last year's debacle at the Waste Management.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 6 o'clock. We begin with golf course chaos, a wild weekend at the WM Phoenix Open in Scottsdale, where there was plenty of rowdy behavior from drunken spectators to ticket holders who got shut out. And tonight, many people are questioning if things went too far this year.
We reached out to Scottsdale police. They have now told us the numbers. They say over the week, 54 people were arrested, 211 people were ejected. Both of those numbers are more than double last year's.
The question now is, will the Thunderbirds, the charity organization that puts on the Waste Management Open, will the Thunderbirds make the changes that they promised to make last year? Because they did. They promised to make sweeping changes. Last year's Waste Management was a debacle. The event finally jumped the shark and became too much of a cartoon character of itself that even the organizers had to say, let us all pump the brakes. So do you think, Ryan, that we are going to see a more tamed down version of the Waste Management Open?
Great question. I think, and I hope I'm wrong, I think that there's trouble abrewing. Because as soon as you try to tighten up the laces on something like this, where there's now a history and tradition between all these yahoos, there's going to be now a conflict. Because there's nothing yahoos hate more than the man holding them down. And I hope I'm wrong. I'd hate to see that. But at the same time, they got to do something to change it because it's a joke, dude. I'm sure we'll get the few guys who feel like they have to cape up for this event and why it's good for golf. Don't care. How zany do you need it? Golf course is beautiful. The Arizona Golf Desert is very similar, shares a very similar climate and turf conditions to the California desert golf area. That event could be so special. The history of the Thunderbirds is awesome, but you've ruined it with Guy Fieri and his squad. Them boys ruined it. And they built upon it. They're guilty of it. You start feeding the pigeons down at the park, Now you got a whole lot of pigeons eating out of your hand and a whole lot of pigeons that can't go find food for themselves anymore. You created this ecosystem, and now you got to figure it out. They're going to have a hard time backpedaling out of it now. They're deep. They're in way deep. How do you truly enforce how many drinks a guy's going to have if they're going to multiple different locations to buy them? There's just no way, dude. They're in trouble, I think. I think it's going to be a really awkward year because if they uphold what they say they're going to do and they try to enforce it and course correct this, there's going to be some major pushback from these guys because there ain't no stopping Brad Birdie from getting their freak on out there. They might take their white belt out and slap you like Indiana Jones. Got to be careful.
I'd rather get hit with a white belt than a chain wallet.
That's true, but they're probably connected, so it probably turns into some Arizona nunchuck. Arizona! Whoosh! Whoopah! Guy just hit me with a chain wallet on a white belt? Who was that? You got 7 Matrix agents turn and look at you all with white sunglasses on. That's a mob I don't want to fight.
No, not at all. I hope they do make the changes because TPC Scottsdale is such an incredible golf course. It is such a cool golf course. Those final 3 holes are amazing.
I know, the risk reward.
It's great.
Crazy.
Yeah. I'd love to see that actually be something that I want to watch.
The waste management, it's almost like New Year's Eve in New York. All these people stuck in one place. And my question is, where are they going potty? Are they just dropping trowel right there? You're drinking all those Mick Ultras. You got to go shishi sometime. God forbid you get atomic diarrhea. You're going to lose your spot. So, you know those guys are freaking pissing where they stand. I guarantee it.
We've been told by people we know on the grounds that when those beer cups come flying from 16 onto the green, that it's not just beer in those cups. You got guys that have been sitting there since 5 in the morning
and
because
they're peeing in the cup. How do you stick up for that? How do you honestly stick up for that?
Did you guys see Smiley Kaufman strap a GoPro to his head and run with us to 16?
It's a crazy world, Adam. It's a crazy world.
It's Arizona.
It is.
Let's wind it down and clean out my notes app a bit and then do some YouTube comments. I've said it before on the show that I keep a running list of notes on my phone for potential podcast topics, and I either don't think they're good enough for an entire segment or we run out of time every week, and the list is getting big, so I want to clean them out. Late last month, there was a once-in-a-generation occurrence called the Planet Parade. Have you heard of the Planet Parade?
Never.
This is where 6 of the planets align in their orbit, and 4 of them were visible to the naked eye. I wanted to ask you this back then, but I'll ask you now because I have to hear your answer on tape. Can you name all 8 planets in a row in order from closest to the sun?
No.
I'd like to hear you try.
Well, the moon's not a planet, so.
Okay. Closest to the sun to furthest.
Mars?
Is the closest to the sun?
I don't know.
Holy crap, dude.
Oh, I thought you meant closest to us. I'm sorry. Closest to the sun? I have
Yes.
no idea, dude.
You don't know the closest planet to the sun?
No. Is it us?
No. Thank God it's not us. We wouldn't be here.
Mercury.
There you go. Second?
Jupiter.
This is amazing. No, it's not Jupiter.
Oh. Us.
No.
Mars.
No.
I don't fucking know.
Venus.
Okay.
Third.
What does this matter?
This is such elementary knowledge.
Right. And had I studied this to refresh my memory before, I would have got them all right. Who needs to know that on the fly, something that you learned 35 years ago?
I think you need to know in case someone ever comes up to you and says,
Hey, you want to go fly to this planet? Which one's the closest? When am I going there? Who cares, dude? What are you getting at? Can you get to the punchline here?
this is the punchline. You went with Mercury, then Jupiter, and that was after you thought Earth was the closest. It's Mercury, Venus, Earth,
Okay.
Mars, Jupiter,
Pluto.
Saturn. Pluto's no longer a planet
Why not?
because it's not. It's a dwarf planet.
What about your favorite planet?
Uranus. That is next. Good for you. And what is the furthest planet away from us?
Neptune.
Good job.
I mean, had I studied it, I would have got it right. You got to study it last night. You're criticizing me. Idiot. Stupid idiot.
Stupid idiot.
We made New Year's resolutions on the podcast about 4 weeks back. Mine were to play more tennis, stop eating ice, and practice the piano 3 times a week. I haven't played tennis once. I still eat ice every day, and I haven't touched the piano since Christmas.
Wow. Holding strong.
The best ability is accountability. There you go, folks. Update on the New Year's resolutions. Final note from my iPhone. As I was laying out my clothes one night before bed, I wondered, am I the only one who does this? Am I the only one that lays out the outfit the night before? I do this because I have to get ready in the cloak of darkness and be very quiet so I don't wake up 3 other people. Do you lay out your clothes the night before?
Only on golf days, especially if I'm leaving early. But if it's not golf, I don't.
You've been winning a lot of money playing golf lately, which is interesting because you are on record saying you don't like to gamble when you play golf and that you would rather pay people what they want to gamble for just so they'll shut up and have a good time. It's a great take. The Gillis group every Wednesday morning does require a skins entry fee. You've been winning a lot lately, and I can actually pinpoint when you started winning money consistently while playing golf. I can pinpoint the moment when this changed.
When was it?
It's when you won the Nation Derby at Indian Wells before the Classic. You won the pot of money. You split it with your partner, Geoff Extreme Overstreet.
And I've just been on the hit list.
Ever since you won your own tournament and a boatload of cash, you've been winning a lot of money playing golf.
You love to win it. I don't necessarily love to bet it, but I love to win it.
You agree you've been winning a lot lately.
Uh-huh.
I asked you the other day why you carry so much cake around, because I don't see a lot of people carrying wads of cake.
Mm-hmm.
But you always have it on you, and you said, this is from golf.
It's nice to have wad of cake. You know, back in the day when these websites weren't so easy to build and credit card terminals were ridiculously expensive for small businesses, back in those olden times when I was shaping surfboards, about 90% of the customer base paid in cash. And Craig used to make fun of me. I'd walk into the barber shop with some stupid board shorts on to get a haircut and have like $4,000 cash in my pocket. You know what's funny? I remembered this the other day when we were on the phone with our partners meeting, Zoom call, Sunday yesterday, and one of the questions was about capital for our new agreements. And we were like, well, we're proud that we have started this company off $100 capital, and we've snowballed it from there, which is pretty awesome. But before we got together with that, do you know how I funded the first run of Nation? I was saved a little bit of cash from each sale that whole summer, and Richard from Toes on the Nose helped me with my first run through his factory. And I went up there when the stuff came in, and I was like, mind if I pay you cash? And he was like, fuck yeah. Cash money paid for the first run in Nation Golf. You love to hear that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great story unearthed right there.
Yeah. So, yeah, cash is great. Very rare these days. A lot of places don't even accept it.
Plenty of reason to comment on YouTube, folks. We've laid out a lot of takes today. Coke Classic coming back to Costco. Jason Day's gray sweatsuit. Rory McIlroy's love affair with the word all of the smack talk on Arizona. So if you want to leave a comment that you want us to read and read on the air, please make those comments at YouTube. You do not have to listen on YouTube, but all of our episodes are posted there. So leave your comments on the corresponding episode on YouTube, just like these people. Lone Star Mike on YouTube wrote, I just gripped my new irons, finally dug out of the Myrtle Beach snow to play around. My buddy made an ace, cocktails afterwards, and he has the audacity to say to me, nice job on the grips, Mike, but the logos should always be up.
What an idiot.
Fernando writes in, what are the chances of a Black Nation golf polo coming back? It was my favorite. I gave it to my cousin because he looked like a bum, and now I regret it.
Bummer. Yeah, we're going to make some black soon. Probably not the next run, though.
I'm always asking for it, folks. I'm always asking for Nation apparel to be made in the wonderful color of black. and I'm always getting denied, but I will continue to fight the good fight on behalf of the customers who really, really, really want it.
Really?
Last week, Ryan, you did an impression of Keanu Reeves screaming to Bodhi in the movie Point Break, played by Patrick Swayze, that he is an FBI agent.
I know, man. Isn't it wild?
Chef Bake wrote in, can Mr. Engle do the podcast as Keanu Reeves from Speed? His impression is spot on.
What do you mean from Speed? Keanu Reeves plays the same character in every fucking movie he's in. He cannot change his voice for anything.
Folks, that is blatantly false.
He sounds like frickin' Spicoli 24/7 every role.
Keanu Reeves is a multi-dimensional, wonderful actor. He is my favorite of all time, tied with the late, great Paul Walker. I love Keanu Reeves, and this comment from Chef Bake prompted me to write a list of my top 5 Keanu Reeves characters. I will give my list, and then Engle, do you happen to have a list of your top 5 Keanu Reeves characters?
I do.
Wonderful. Number 5, for me, Shane Falco from The Replacements. Did you ever see that movie?
No.
Number 4, Jack Traven from Speed.
I think it was called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down.
I saw that movie.
Great movie. In that movie, when Sandra Bullock is driving the bus, she runs over a baby carriage because she can't take it below 55 miles per hour. And she hits a baby carriage inside of a pedestrian walkway. And she has a major freak out. And Keanu Reeves, a.k.a. Jack Traven, turns around.
Don't worry. Everything's all right.
He sees a bunch of aluminum cans bouncing down Wilshire Boulevard. And he looks at Sandra Bullock with a big smile and he goes, cans! They're just cans!
Dude. Yeah, multi faceted actor there, huh?
He's a method actor. He had to get into character for that.
His character is Surfer Guy.
Number 3, John Wick from John Wick.
The John Wick movies are blasphemy.
You're an idiot.
Stupid idiot.
No.
Number 2 on my list of all-time Keanu Reeves characters, Johnny Utah from Point Break.
Wow, you missed. So big.
Before I get to number 1, Ryan and I had a chance to watch Point Break together in the desert 2 weeks ago when we were staying out there for the Bob Hope Classic. And despite the fact that the tournament was great, the time spent was great, the pool, the jacuzzi, the food were all great, my highlight was the fact that our two families got to watch Point Break together.
Love it.
Point Break was the movie that I showed my wife in my old Santa Monica apartment for what was our first date. And then I played that movie at our wedding on mute, rendered in black and white at a Art Deco rooftop in LA, and it was amazing to be giving nuptials and look up and see Bodie and Johnny skydiving together without parachutes.
What about the scene when they raided Bunker's house? A lot of TNA in that scene.
Look away, kids.
Yeah.
Number 1, Keanu Reeves' character. It goes without saying, folks, it changed the course of cinematic history. Neo from The Matrix.
Awesome.
The greatest sci-fi movie ever. Neo, the greatest character ever.
Wow.
Before we get to Ryan's list, honorable mention, probably would have came in at number 6, John Constantine from Constantine, a chain-smoking exorcist.
Yeah, cool.
Your top 5 list from 5 down to 1, please.
5 down to 1. Number 5, Kevin Lomax, Devil's Advocate.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah, Kevin Lomax. You know what's great? Fun fact that I learned last night in doing my podcast prep. Keanu Reeves in Devil's Advocate took a major pay cut just so Al Pacino could jump on board.
I love that because Keanu Reeves also took his Matrix salary and divided it
I've heard
equally
that too.
amongst the special effects crew.
Which he owes them for sure.
Well, not anymore because he paid him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He owed them at the time. He sure didn't put a bucket of 31 Budweisers out for the media room, if you know what I'm saying. This is all I can afford. Number 4, Neo in Matrix 3.
In Matrix 3?
Number 3, Neo in Matrix 2.
Okay.
Number 2, Neo in Matrix 1. And number 1, the role in which he actually played himself, Johnny Utah, Point Break.
What you just let the audience know is that you have only seen 3
No,
Keanu Reeves vehicles.
I've seen all of them. Look, I love the fact that Keanu Reeves has definitely proven he's a normal dude and a good dude. I really love that about him. But Speed, Bill and Ted's, his surfer guy shtick is not only old, but it's kind of weird. Isn't he from fucking New York?
And Canada.
Why does he talk like he surfed lowers his whole life?
I had the answer.
Why?
Great actor.
So he plays a surfer guy in every role? He talks like a surfer guy in every role. Every role. He is the same guy.
So you think when he came to in the chair on the Nebuchadnezzar after he had been learning how to fight from Morpheus,
whoa,
and he said,
whoa,
I know Kung Fu. You think he sounded like a surfer?
Yeah.
Oh, to me, he sounded like the savior of the world.
Bro, that guy has played the same voice character in every role.
Isn't it a great character, though?
It's great for, like, Point Break, and it worked for The Matrix, but then when you start sprinkling it over all these other movies, it's kind of like, you're going to have to show me something else, bud.
Keanu Reeves has to show you something else.
Isn't that what being an actor is all about? Acting? Acting like something else? Really?
Really?
Maybe. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Fellowship. Direct all of your comments to YouTube, the love, the hate, the indifference. We'll take it there on youtube.com/@NationGolf, and we will happily talk to you next Monday.